Yeah, here we go. Let's
So I'm
go.
gonna start this character discussion off with a little guessing game. That being this character wins games.
Who is it?
Who is it? Yeah, I think you guys. I think we all know who. I think we all know who it is. That of course being Bowser.
Sorry.
Not
Close guess, I mean.
but yeah, you know you're a little off, but you know. No, we're talking about Bowser
Oh
here.
my gosh.
Best, well, community ranked him as 2,
Right.
which I think is modest.
Okay.
Modest.
I think it's modest.
Right.
This is a character that I've always valued, always enjoyed playing with,
Yo, yeah.
always get results
Oh,
with.
yeah, always.
Ever since I picked up the copy of this game in 2005,
Whoa.
Bowser has always been the pick. All right.
Yup.
Yep.
The home run potential is off the charts.
Unbelievable.
Contact, it's gone.
Contact.
Yep.
All right.
Star hit.
Star hit, also very valuable.
Ridiculously good.
Really valuable. The thing that takes away from the star hit is the high home run potential.
Yeah.
So, like,
Right.
You don't want to use a star hit because you just want to hit a home
Yeah,
run.
Right. Exactly.
But it's still a great chip to keep in your back pocket regardless.
Yep.
And I mean, if you're picking him as captain,
In
the
case-
1-star star hit.
One-star
if
star
you
hit's
have to do
there.
it.
That's true. If
Right.
you have to do it.
If you're in a
right.
situation where you really can't take the risk of going all out on a home run,
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's called, the bomb ball, or what they call it, the
Bullet bill?
bullet,
Oh, what is that?
bullet
I don't know
bill,
what it's
bullet
called.
ball,
Bullet ball, something.
something like that.
Something with bullet.
Oh, it's the killer ball.
Killer ball!
Oh,
Killer
more violent
ball.
than we thought.
Thank you.
let's
so the
go.
killer
Killer
ball
ball.
is killer indeed.
Oh,
Something that I can really keep
I
that
love
in the
that.
back pocket there. To round out the discussion though, so the number one thing is the home runs.
Yes.
Right.
It really is. Home runs, home runs, home runs.
Right.
If you make a mistake, home run, throw a ball off the plate, you'll still hit a home run.
It's hard. There's no pitch you can throw that Bowser can't get a
Get
home
to.
run off of.
Right.
He can't be bullied.
Unless you
Right.
walk him.
He can't be bullied.
Unless you walk
Which
in.
is another part, which is another thing we're gonna get to.
Right.
Because we have seen this being integrated more into the game recently.
Which here's the thing: is that Bowser is such a big threat,
Mhm.
and he's the only threat that big that you threaten walking him.
Yes.
Nobody threatens walking Birdo. Nobody threatens
Nope.
walking Petey. Nobody threatens walking even like King Boo or Donkey Kong.
Nope.
But people visibly love
Pitch around
to walk.
Bowser.
They
Yeah.
they do.
Right.
They're so scared of
Sometimes
him
you gotta.
because he is that good.
He's very good.
He's that good.
Yeah.
Now, moving on from that point, we will talk about synergies. So synergies is obviously the biggest concern that you get when you're picking Bowser.
Right.
So Bowser
Yes.
is a lock to make your team better. He just is.
Yep.
But picking him as your captain and first overall does pose some challenges when constructing the rest of your team.
Yes.
Right.
And he's a
jerk.
boatload of anti-synergies.
Yep.
But I like
Mario, Peach, Toad,
Daisy.
Daisy's on the
Daisy.
list.
Yep.
Baby Mario's on this list too.
But not
no one cares.
Luigi.
Now Luigi.
Not Luigi.
Apparently.
Which is really funny.
Which, I mean-
allegedly, he might be. That might be another one that
No, I
you
don't
might
think
need
so.
to check out.
I think they're
I mean,
possible.
if not, I
I've
mean, you're
never
throwing Luigi in right field, Bowser most likely on first,
Catcher.
or
Yeah,
catcher.
Usually I have him as catcher, but it depends on how my infield's looking because
Yep.
the synergies do include Bowser Jr., Hammer Bro, Dry Bones, Koopa Troopa, and Paratroopa.
and
Right.
So Koopa Troopa and
Of
Paratroopa are
those-
kind of on the outside looking in there, but
Yeah.
Dry Bones is a great second baseman.
Yep.
Hammer Bro with Bowser at first, it can be an awesome shortstop.
Yep.
And even Bowser Jr. on the left side of the infield can be viable if you have Bowser at first. So depending on what the
Yeah.
look of your team is, if you're going really evil heavy, specifically like Bowser, Koopa Clan evil heavy.
yeah, if
Right.
you happen to
Throw-
have either both Boo and Waluigi as your pitcher, you don't have Peach. Like it's not really, like
Yeah.
you don't have that anti-synergy. If you get Bowser and you get one of those two pitchers, like you're pretty much you're set. You're set as hitting and
And
you're
then-
set as pitching.
And then you
Right.
can focus on building a strong outfield,
Yep.
and then you can get valuable synergies with later picks, including Dry Bones and Bowser Jr.
Yeah,
Right.
to round out that infield.
which the other team won't pick.
Right.
Because they won't pick
Right.
either of those. Well, they may pick Bowser Jr.
BJ is a bubble player,
BJ
so
yeah.
BJ is viable, so he's in
is
there.
alright.
But as a 7th or 8th, I think he'll still be there, and that's
Right.
when you can really utilize that sort of pick.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Another point that I noticed this week was that when you choose Bowser, it's not just that you're adding this home run threat to your team, you're also preventing the other team from having him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
for sure.
he's so significant with home runs that is actually a serious consideration.
Yeah.
I don't want my opponent using Bowser against me, straight up.
Even if he strikes, even,
Yeah.
even
Don't
if he
want that.
even if he strikes out 4 times, like, well, that's fine. But if there's a 0% chance of me giving up a home run.
That's
Right.
fine, but
So-
you put
Right.
beads of sweat on your opponent's
Oh
head.
yeah.
Right on their brow.
I
They
don't-
have to
yep.
pitch against Bowser,
I
and they're
can-
scared.
I can never pitch comfortably with Bowser, but I do prefer to attack when we're in the discussion of intentionally walking.
Okay, yes.
Right.
Because I think that depending on the player, if you have a very seasoned player, it can be very difficult. But if you have a relatively new player, then you can pitch to Bowser no problem.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
think-
Yep.
it really depends on the opponent. If it's a more experienced opponent, like I said,
Yeah.
I'm a lot more careful.
Yeah.
Because you gotta be.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
But Bowser does have a particular like style of hitting
Mm.
that you do have to get used to.
Yep.
So if someone's relatively new to it, then I attack.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So you don't want to go into the game being like, oh, I'll just pick Bowser. It'll either be a home run or a free base. That's not exactly how it works.
Right.
Right.
There
It
is
does
some learning
require
curve
some
to
work,
it.
some effort.
He needs to be pretty far out.
What really gets me with Bowser, as he's batting,
Yeah.
is that he is such a huge body that you can't move him vertically in the box.
Yep,
You
like
can't-
forward and back.
You can't really move him
Yeah.
forward or back.
Like
No.
you can like
You know?
like a little.
Minuscule.
It's like a little like wiggle. Otherwise, it's just left
It's this
and right.
tiny, yeah, it is this tiny little
He's
wiggle.
friggin'
Is
huge.
it- and
Yeah.
that lends himself to being one of the best home run hitter in the game.
Right.
Because you are always in that like prime position. A lot of the
Mhm.
time, you might move your character out of their sweet spot position. You get flustered by a pitch.
Yep.
Bowser does not have that problem.
Nope.
And with L canceling, it
Oh
makes
my
it,
God,
it makes
I
it
was-
near.
and
It
I
makes
was-
it near
And
perfect.
I was
Okay,
just about to
so,
bring
yeah.
up is that you can go so far in. You can be just right over the plate.
all the way to the left. Yep.
All the way to the left.
Yep.
And your opponent has to pitch either inside or they're maybe trying to walk him. Even if they go outside, you're right there anyway.
Right.
And if they do happen to go inside, you do that real quick maneuver and you just knock
Right.
it
That
out.
was very far.
The L canceling is the single greatest tech for specifically Bowser. I've
Yes.
seen so much more success with L canceling with Bowser than any of the other heavies,
Yep.
including Petey, King Boo, DK. He just does it so well, and it's
Right.
so
He
deadly.
does everything well at the plate.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just does.
I mean, and that's as far as threat level goes. And I want to talk about this, even though it's not necessarily the character we're talking about. Birdo works better as a captain, I think, than Bowser does, and I think that is probably, and that's solely because of the star hit. But
Right.
in the actual game itself, when you're playing, Bowser is the biggest threat. He is
Yeah.
the biggest player you have to worry about.
Right.
You have to constantly watch out for.
Outside of captain picks.
Outside
You're
of captain.
I
I
agree.
think Bowser is too valuable to not pick as your captain.
Yeah,
I feel like
and
if you
I
let
usually
Bowser-
pick Bowser. As
If
my
you
captain,
let
but I
Bowser go
see
to
the other side.
if you let Bowser go to a 3rd or 4th pick, there's something seriously
Oh
wrong.
no,
going on.
and he never goes to a third.
Exactly.
Right.
He shouldn't. If he does, then you don't know how to play baseball.
Pretty
I don't
much.
have any stats to back this up, but I want to say Bowser is at least twice as likely to hit a home run as the next best home run hitter.
I think so.
I think it's at least 2 times as often that he hits one
I really
Yep.
do. I
than,
really
than
think
the
so.
next competitor.
I'd say you're absolutely right.
He's so much better than everybody else at home runs.
Definitely
It's
the
crazy.
the most career home runs of any player in
Yep.
the
Not even a
game.
question.
Yep.
By far.
And here's the thing too, is that like even if you don't get a home run with Bowser, there's very, very few times that you make contact and then it's like a pop fly. If
Right.
you do not get a home run with Bowser and you make good contact,
He'll get a single.
He'll get a single
Or a double.
Honestly,
He's really only popping out opposite field.
yeah,
To left
Yeah,
field.
to left field he's kind of weak.
yeah.
Right.
Anything to the right side though, single, double,
Anything to
home
the right
run.
It's a home run or it's
Anything
a
to the right
single.
side, it's
It's
a
nothing
home run.
I've
else.
seen it
It's
so
a
many
home run.
times.
That's
Yep.
ridiculous. Very, very
Still haunts my
good.
dreams.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like I want to talk about him more, but I'm not sure what else
But-
to say. Laser beam.
Laser beam.
Laser
also
beam.
great.
Laser
He's the
beam.
fastest laser beam in the entire game.
Oh yeah.
It's
sure.
by far
Interesting.
fastest.
Cannon. So
Yep.
he's got laser beam and body check.
Yeah, which body check,
So body check, doesn't really come to play that
It's
often.
fine.
But if you maybe want to get a little greedy with him on a base,
if you want to run down your opponent as Bowser,
you could.
And I mean, it
You
makes up
could.
for his speed somewhat. The
Yeah,
fact that
'cause
he
the
does
throw-
have that
The
tech.
throw's gonna beat him, but
Can
he
work.
could knock him out and take the base
Right.
anyways.
It's true.
Not
Right.
something that I rely on.
Of course not.
But it's in there.
but most of the time you don't have to worry about it anyway.
It's
Because the
true.
ball's already out of the park.
It's
He's
true.
already rounding the bases.
Yep.
He's doing
Yep.
He just body checked
I
the
know.
ball
That's it.
over the fence.
Yeah.
Doesn't even need to worry about hitting a
his.
player.
More often than not, Bowser is the MVP.
Right.
of the game.
So other than that, it's really like if you have Bowser as usually he's either the catcher at first baseman. So laser beam is really only beneficial if you have him at first base.
Right.
So what I like to do sometimes is that if I can afford to, I'll have Bowser at first, Bowser Jr. in right because he
Yeah.
counters with the walk line.
Yep.
And then
You're right.
on relays to home, instead of hitting the cutoff, synergy to first, laser to home.
I think that Bowser
Yep.
also works pretty well as a second baseman. If you don't have Donkey Kong, like he is still very huge.
He's big body.
These captains, they have the best animations in the game for grabbing balls. They
Right.
have the biggest hitboxes. They have the most ability to actually shut stuff down.
With the exception of any Mushroom Kingdom character
With
in
the
the infield.
exception, yes. With
That's the
exception
main
of
thing
that.
you have to consider if you're putting
Yeah.
him anywhere besides catcher and first.
I think that's Bowser's only drawback is his anti-chemistries with Peach and Mario.
Yeah.
Yes.
Toad and Baby Mario don't matter.
I've also seen games or played games where I put Bowser at third. If
Yeah,
I
right.
get, if I scoop up like a Dry Bones or a Bowser Jr.,
Right.
then I'll put Bowser on the left side of the infield because there's really not a lot of range involved there, and
Right.
then he just absolute cannon. Just
And you'll
shuts
most
down.
likely either have the laser home or some type of chemistry home
Yes.
that you're dealing with. Because you'll have some evil character on home.
Most likely. I mean,
Right.
it wouldn't be hard to pull off whatsoever.
Right. Right.
Stick if you get Bowser, Hammer Bro immediately becomes way more.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
He does.
For sure.
He does.
He
Because they
buffs
work
Hammer
so
Bro.
well. He buffs Hammer Bro.
Absolutely.
Just like how Boo buffs King Boo.
A lot of characters kind of have that.
Even
feed.
though Boo is worse than King
Just
Boo.
like Petey Piranha buffs Birdo and Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So-
yes.
So all things considered.
All things considered,
mean,
Bowser's
what are
the
we
best
looking at?
character in the game.
Woo-wee!
He's the biggest threat, and even though you don't pick him as captain, he's something you constantly have to worry about. He is insane. And if you are that worried about picking against him or pitching against him, you do pick him as captain. Because he does have that star hit. He does have that ball. He has that option. He has this coverage and this unbelievable potential to hit home runs. It's disgusting actually what Bowser can do to your opponent if given the time.
I agree. I really do. I think that Bowser is grossly underrated at number 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Grossly.
Absolutely the best character in the game. I'm gonna dig in a little bit into Birdo once we get there
Yeah.
in our next segment.
Yep.
All right.
But in lieu of that, Bowser's absolutely the best. Always has been. I'm not really quite sure how the numbers came out to this.
It'll be different.
But they certainly should be.
They should be.
I know that much. But he's got to be number 1. It's got to be.
All right. I'm going to be the devil's advocate. Say he's right where he should be, coming in at number 2. It's a hard number 2. It's not an easy decision. But all things considered, captain is included in the pick. As much as we'd like to say best overall, disregarding captain, a captain is a factor, so he has to be number 2 for me.
I think it's kind of funny if somebody was really new to the game and they asked us, who's the best character, and we said it's Bowser, and then they said, why is Bowser the best? Well, it's because he hits home runs the most. It's like so obvious and so
Right.
simple, but I think that's kind of funny. I was one of the people who had Birdo as number 1 when I submitted for the community list. I think I was wrong, and I think Bowser. is the
Ooh,
best
let's
character.
go! I love it.
So trending up, Bowser wins games.
Bowser
wins
games.
Wow.
Wins games.
Unbelievable.
Take that to the bank, Birdo.
He's the Koopa King.
The king.
He's the king.
The baseball king.
He literally sits there in the stands and he laughs
I know.
at these people
At
thinking
I know.
they're playing
At
baseball.
these
plebes.
He laughs. He laughs at Yoshi at first. He laughs at Wario on the mound.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Yeah.
you guys don't know how to play baseball.
They
Let me
have no
show
idea.
you. And it goes into his eyes.
Oh yeah.
Come to my stadium where I'll be pitching.
Yeah. Play each other all first, and then you can take me on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm not even gonna dabble with any of that.
Yup. Not even a chance.
Ooh yeah.
Unbelievable.
All right.
That makes me so happy.
No one.